Okay, so we look at Rise of the Tomb Raider at 21:9. So the game, as it has been covered a lot recently, is a very solid PC port, only falling down in a few places, and sadly some of these places are within the 21:9 space, no pun intended. So, getting the basics out of the way, it natively supports an ultra-wide view. The option to choose 2560x1080 was also there in the resolution settings menu when I was running at 1440, which was useful as if I wanted to quickly switch to 1080p, I don't have to force NVIDIA control panel to set my resolution to 1080 before it shows up in the game options. The HUD is stuck at 16:9, but it is extremely minimal. It's nothing like a first-person shooter. One weird thing is, though, the loading circle indicator is the one thing that does shift to the very far right corner. But yeah, nothing else in the HUD follows suit, sadly. The map is built into the in-game menu, and this set of menus is exactly the same as its 16:9 version, to the point where there is a black shaded rectangle over the 16:9 portion of the screen, but once again, something we see a lot, this black shaded area doesn't extend into the extra 21:9 screen space, so it gets nastily cut off on the sides, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, on the map, things are happier, with the map being visible correctly on the far left and far right of the screen. It doesn't pop in or disappear or get cut off at the 16:9 edges, which is really nice. There is one weird point in the in-game menus where when you're looking at objects you find in the world, the blue background color extends across the entire right side of the screen, but it fails to fill the extra left-hand side of the screen. Just odd, but something to note. The main menu is generally well supportive of 21:9, with the background scene extending to fill the edges of the screen. However, the HUD elements are all locked at 16:9, but they all display correctly and so are completely usable, with one exception. The cards selection screen, where you turn over your cards, the cards are stretched and shifted sideways, yet the selection of them is still at their original position. And so the issue here is you can't read the description of the far left and far right cards when they're turned over, as they're cut off kind of halfway down each of them. It's a stupid problem, however it seems to be pretty small, and so I'm hoping someone can fix this very easily and just get rid of this annoyance. Loading screens have a 16:9 HUD, but the background lines that seem to draw out the gradients of a map, these extend across the entire screen nicely. Now, there are three types of cutscenes. In-game ones that are as you're playing, and they're at 21:9 with whatever FPS you're able to render them at. The second set of cutscenes appears to be in-game as well, however for some reason they're black barred. They occur when a cutscene is more significant than the ones which fill the screen, and it's frustrating as the black bars just, they really piss me off. But as they appear to be in-game moments, I really hope that we can see a fix to this at some point. Now, the final set of cutscenes are the worst, and they will never be able to be fixed to fill the 21:9 screen properly. And these are the main story cutscenes. They're 16:9 with black bars on the sides, and to top it all off, the quality of them is really low, and the FPS is locked at 30. Clearly, they were made to run on like the Xbox 360. But again, these are clearly pre-rendered, so why the quality matters when it's just streaming a pre-rendered video, I'm not sure. Performance-wise, the game has a fantastic set of graphics options, all not requiring a reboot, which is just the best thing ever when you're trying to fiddle around for the first time. Each renders real time in the background, which is great. However, the scalability of the game was of pretty big confusion to me. So I had to record this gameplay at 1080p because of 1440. I just couldn't get a steady 60 FPS while recording, and I really need something steady like that if I'm going to upload to you guys. And in my time getting the game to run better, I simply could not get it to run massively different on the different presets and when I was fiddling around with each graphics option. The quality difference between very high and even medium saw very little FPS gain when dropping down, and even then it was mainly specific options like HBAO Plus that caused significant enough FPS changes for me. And so at 1440p I was generally at 65 to 70 FPS with dips to high 50s on very high settings without HBAO Plus or anti-aliasing. However, when I dropped down to medium settings, I literally only saw like a gain of 8 to 10 FPS. A very strange issue. Now, it should be noted I would normally be playing this game at very high settings at 1440, as the FPS fluctuations are not an issue as I'm running a G-Sync monitor. However, as I said, I need a steady 60 FPS for recording, so that's why it's at 1080. Anyway, so the most perplexing thing is, when I dropped the resolution to 1080p, these scaling issues kind of went away, with each setting affecting the FPS more significantly. So clearly the resolution is far more of a contender than graphics options. It should be noted I'm running all this on a GTX 980 Ti. Now, all this wasn't really much of a problem in the end, just something I came across while trying to record, and so it would be interesting to hear about how lower end GPUs fared. The big issue, however, with the game that does need fixing soon, please, is the random big FPS drops, even on rare occasions having FPS die into a slideshow for a few seconds as something new loads, and this is a problem I have read about in a few reviews before and during the launch. It's frustrating, but I found the best thing to do is just to stand, wait a few seconds, let everything load, and then you can continue with little problem. Now, in regards to the game as a whole, oh my god, I'm loving it. I really enjoyed the first in the series, and this is just building extremely on the structure that first created. It's an action-packed adrenaline ride, keeping you engaged continuously, and the graphics have also kept up with the development of the gameplay, creating an absolutely gorgeous world to explore. The inclusion of proper tombs this time round is a welcome inclusion for me, as it's kind of in the name. Now, a big feature I love is the changing in locations. The first game was obviously all set on one island, so you didn't get much of a change of scenery. So getting to explore hot, arid places to freezing, ice-covered mountains is a change I'm loving. I've played about 4 hours now, and not once have I gotten bored, felt it was too ridiculous, or had any problems with the game other than the few performance issues I've mentioned. Overall, it's a game I've been anxiously waiting for, and yeah, I was really angry when they first announced it was a timed release for the Xbox, getting it first, but finally the wait is over and I am not disappointed. It gets a massive thumbs up from me. Now, keep your heads up for an update to this video, as if the cutscenes ever do get a fix, I'll be sure to let you know, as it's something I would love to get rectified. Anyway, I hope that gives you some information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. Have a good day.
Able to climb those oars. Got it. Now to find out what's up there.
coming. They have a problem here. Over here!
Bought some time.
We took one of the natives alive for questioning, but it cost us 3 men. I'm guessing Command wants to know what they find out.
Constantine expects more from us. Someone's gonna pay for that mistake.
Prioritize the live rounds, and keep them separate from the rations. Got a feeling we'll want those for easy reach.
Yes, sir. Shit. Most of these rations were burned in the blast. Time for the next drop.
The fire's not out. We're still waiting on someone to shut down the pumps, but we have the gear we could save. All stood.
Understood. Get a handle on the